Welcome back to the course Engineering Chemistry. I am Dr. Harika Patnala, Associate Professor, Department of Chemistry, MNR Institute of Technology, Hyderabad. Our topic is on energy sources. Lecture 3. In previous class, we have discussed about the fuels, characteristics of fuels, and their applications, like calculation of HCV, LCV by using Joulon's formula. In today's class, we are going to discuss about the refining of a crude oil, how we are going to separate the petrol, diesel, kerosene, heavy oils and LPG, CNG from the crude oil by simple technique called boiling method. So we are going to boil all the constituents which are present in the crude oil. So they are separated into various fractions based upon their boiling point. Before that separation, we have to remove the various impurities which are present in the crude oil. We know that the crude oil consists of carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, and various hydrocarbons, C1 to C37, or the various hydrocarbons which are present, either aliphatic or aromatic. In order to separate these hydrocarbons based upon the chain lengths, before that we have to separate the various impurities which are present in the crude oil. Refining of crude oil or petroleum. The crude oil is separated into various fractions by fractional distillation and finally converted into desired products. So we are going to separate the crude oil into various fractions based upon their boiling points, and the fractions are separated based upon their boiling points into based on the carbon chain. What are the fraction? How much length of the carbon chain we required, we can separate it on our hands based upon their boiling point. The process is called refining of crude oil, and the plant and the setup for the purpose are called oil refineries. There are the refineries which are required for the separation of the crude oil into various fractions. We require oil refinery. There is a separate apparatus. The process of refining involving the 3 steps. The first step is separation of water. While digging under the depth of the oceans, along with the crude oil, you may get water. So we have to remove the water, because if the water is present, the salt content and the water content which makes the corrosive all the equipments. So we have to remove the water by Cottrell process. The crude oil in the form of stable emulsion of oil and salt water. We know that the crude oil is having the combination of oil and salt water. We have to separate the salt water. What is separated from the oil by Cottrell process? First, the emulsified water along with the salts dissolved is removed by passing the crude oil between the highly charged electrodes. The crude oil which is having the water content is passed between the highly charged electrodes. The colloidal water droplets unite on the positive electrode. All the water droplets coalesce to each other and deposited on the positive electrode to form large drops. So all these, the colloidal water droplets coalesce to each other and forms the large drops easily separated from the fuel, which are separated from oil. From the crude oil, in order to separate the water, the crude oil is passed between the highly charged electrode. All the water droplets coalesce to each other and combine to form a big water droplet, a big layer of water, and which is separated from the positive electrode. Separation of what is required. Removal of harmful sulfur compounds. In this step, the oil is treated with copper oxide. Sulfur is removed or converted into copper sulfide. If we want to remove that sulfur content, just add the copper oxide and stir it well. All the sulfur is converted into copper sulfide. We can remove the PPT and separate the PPT. So then what is free from? Oil is free from water and the sulfur. Let us see the step 3, fractional distillation. The crude oil is then heated about 400 degrees in an iron retort. There is a long still which is having number of layers. If you see this is a long still. Each one is having one tray. See, there is a one tray. I am going to separate draw this each and every tray. Each and every tray. There are the trays. There are the long steel, which are going to the long steel, which is having chimney and downpour. To get back to the liquids back, there is a downpour. There are the loose caps. We are going to get the various fractions. The crude oil is then heated about 400 degrees centigrade in an iron retort, where all the volatile constants except the residue are evaporated, which is a very long stale maximum gases liquids which can be separated very fastly at 400 degrees centigrade temperature we are using, and the residues are left over behind. All the liquids and gases gets evaporated. The hot vapors are passed through a fractionating column. So all these vapors are passed through a fractionating column, which is a tall cylinder tower containing a number of horizontal stainless steel trays. If you see this, the crude oil is taken here. The furnace at 400 degrees centigrade temperature, all the crude oil gets heated and all the vapor, solids and gases gets evaporated. The solids behind left over, and so if you pass the steam at the bottom, so all the gases gets evaporated. So the gases which are in lightweight lower hydrocarbons, just they will move to the at higher levels. Stainless steel trays, each tray, the help of each tray we can color the various fractions at various levels. Each tray is provided with small chimney covered with a loose cap. Small chimney for the showing the path to escape the gases. As the vapor go up, they become gradually cooled and different products are obtained. After going at the top, till they get condensed and get separated into the different products at different levels at different columns. If you see this, all the gases are evaporated. These are the arrow marks which shows that LPG and CNG, which are the gases easily escaping out. The first product is gases. So at different levels there are the different temperatures. The gases are having below 30 degrees centigrade, they will easily move. Their boiling point is below 30 degrees centigrade, they easily escape from down to at the top surface. And petroleum either who is having 30 to 70 degrees centigrade boiling point, the next they follow. Next petrol will follow. Each one is having different temperatures. The hydrocarbons which are in lightweight will escape the fast, and based upon the length of the hydrocarbons they will follow. Gasoline, naphtha, kerosene, diesel and lubricating oil, and the leftover is heavy oil, which is the thick liquid content, the semi-solid content. Grease, everything will obtain from the heavy oil. Let us see the various fractions. The first fraction, if you see in this, uncondenser gases, whose boiling point is 30, the chain length is C1 to C4. Methane, ethane, propane, butane or butene, butane, propene, propine. Of both aliphatic and sometimes aromatic compounds, cyclic compounds are also we are going to get. The crude oil here we are going to separate it based upon their hydrocarbon length. See guys, C1 to C4 is nothing but methane, ethane, propane, butane, butane, which are used as a domestic and industrial fuels, which are served to the society under the name of LPG. Let us see the next fraction which is followed is petroleum ether. Petroleum ether, his boiling point is 30 to 70 degrees centigrade, whose chain length is C5 to C7. These are the petroleum ethers used as a solvent in the various laboratories, industries, mainly in chemical industries. In many industries, we are using ether as a solvent, the drying agent. The next fraction which is followed is gasoline, petrol, or whose boiling point is 40 to 120 degrees centigrade, which is the combination of petroleum ether C5 to C7 and C7 to C9. It is a combination of both hydrocarbons, pentane to nonane, C5, C6, C7, C8, C9. So the length of the hydrocarbon chain increases, the boiling point also increases. These are the fuels which are used in internal combustion engine. The gasoline which is used in IC engines and dry cleaning solvents. The next fraction we are going to get is after petrol, naphtha based upon their boiling points. Naphtha whose boiling point is 120 to 180 because whose carbon chain is C9 to C10. As the length of the carbon chain increases, the molecular weight increases, the packing, more the close packing, and so 120 to 180 degrees centigrade is the boiling point. It is used as paints and varnishes. The next fraction is kerosene. Whose kerosene boiling point is 180 to 250. The carbon chain is C10 to C16. It is used for the fuel for the stoves, jet engine fuels, and for the preparing lab gas. The next fraction is diesel oil and whose boiling point is 250 to 320. The length of the hydrocarbon chain is C15 to C18. Diesel engine fuel, locomotive diesel engines, we are going to use this fuel in diesel oil. The last fraction is heavy oil, 320 to 400 degrees centigrade boiling point is nothing but semi-solids and whose carbon chain is C17 to C30. It is used as a fuel for ships and for consumption. Again, from this heavy oil, we are going to get the gasoline by cracking methods. So, from the crude oil, we are going to get the one of the fraction is petrol and heavy oil on cracking. Heavy oil on cracking, we are going to get the gasoline. In today's class, we have discussed about the refining of crude oil. It involves three steps. Refining of crude oil. It involves three steps. The first step is separation of water or salt water from the crude oil. Second one is removal of sulfur. And third step is fractional distillation. The fractional distillation is going to separate the crude oil into various fractions based upon their boiling points, based on the length of the carbon chain. In the next class, we are going to discuss about how we are going to get the petrol from the heavy oil by cracking method. Thank you.